I see Chubby Hubby here. It's been one heck of a week, so it wouldn't surprise me if it isn't working. um, hmm. Yeah, I'm not seeing it go over here, am I? Why not? But why I see it over here? Oh, there it goes. Wow, that was a big delay. Okay, hi everybody. Can you hear me? I got a new thing. I got a new gadget. Is it too much? Is it not enough? Can you hear me? Am I 5 by 5? Chubby Hubby says howdy. Cheers, Chubby Hubby. Yeah, woofda. Like I say, it wouldn't surprise me if this was a bust today because my week has been like that. Oh goodness. Okay, good. Well, if you can hear me at all, then mission accomplished. It's working. So we'll go with that. I have no idea how the heck to put that on. I just put it like in my hoodie where I don't know. It's weird for me. I don't know if I like it. I'm trying it though. Oh, so, I did put a members only video out. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, you should, because it was I had a near death. The rumors of my death are maybe not so greatly exaggerated. Just kidding. I mean, only just a little. Just kidding. I honestly was afraid, and then everything was fine. Um, and so, but let me tell you, there's nothing like a little bit, just a little brush with death to make you like super grateful for everything. I was absolutely like gushing gratitude. Hi, Les. I had Les and Soul on in the background a little bit this week. Karen too. Like I really wasn't in anybody's lives this week. I mean, I was there, but I we were busy putting a hot water heater in. Yay! So, yeah, I was a little MIA from the community this week because there was major plumbing and things happening here in this house. So, but yeah, I was afraid. There was a hellacious noise that came from the back part of the house or the basement or whatever, wherever, and it sounded very electrical. I'm not afraid to make weird noises, so there it was. It sounded kind of like that, and I swear I could feel it in the floor, and I was like, "What in the heck?" So I ran back to the back part of the house where it kind of sounded like it came from and tried to figure out what was doing electrical things. And then all of a sudden I could smell electric something. And so I knew that something had definitely happened. It wasn't just a figment of my imagination. And I got a like dresser that I keep all of my packing stuff, my bubble wrap and boxes and envelopes and sticky labels and stuff. I moved it out of the way and I opened the basement door and I was just like wafted with gray smoke that smelled electric. And um, Les is commenting, "It looks like glad that we're okay." Yeah, it was something else. So I phoned emergencies, not like 911, but like my kid's dad. He only lives a few blocks away, and said, "Please come quick. I don't know what's going on, and I'm scared." And I'm afraid of electricity anyway, and I don't like spiders, and so everything about this basement situation I am not comfortable with. Um, so he came over pretty quick, and uh, we determined that it was the noise that you hear, that like hissing noise that I was hearing when I opened the basement door, was water spraying, just a little pinhole in the tank spraying water across the basement. And so when we figured out we weren't going to die, um, and I was like, "What is that noise, and why won't it stop? What it like? Let's make that noise stop because that hissing noise was part of what had me so terrified." And it was like just a matter of shutting the water to the tank off, right? And everything in this house is a million years old, 100 years old. So we wound up having to shut like all of the water off just to get her, and like breakers and everything, just to make sure we were good. And so I went without water for the rest of the night and the next day. And then of course I had to move all, yeah, the basement brawl 2025. Woo! I had to move all the furniture out of the way and stuff so that we could bring a new hot water heater in. Um, and then it was like, I'm so glad. Like, again, I was just so grateful. I was just gushing gratitude that night. I was like, I'm grateful for hot water, running water, electricity, my friends, my family, flushing toilets. I'm so grateful to be alive tonight. Like, I was just gushing gratitude that night and into the next day, too. This whole week, actually. um, so it was just like a lot going on. So when Karen was going live, it was like, I was cutting the box that the hot water heater came in to send to the guys downstairs. And as I send the first piece of cardboard down, my son's like, hey, yeah, we could refloor the whole basement with that box. And I'm like, that's the plan, like, let's put new cardboard down because, like, it's so gross down there. And, like, there's no saving it. It's just like, you can do some maintenance and upkeep on it, but it's just not worth, like, redoing the basement. My kid came home the other day and he was all excited because he talked to the guy who used to live in this house, whose grandpa built this house. And he's like, did you know that the boiler exploded in this house when there was a boiler heater in here, boiler heater system in here? He said, did you know it exploded in this house? And that there were people in the house when it happened, and it, like, lifted the house off the foundation. And he's like, and they just jacked it up and put it back on the foundation. And I'm like, yes, I actually did know that. I actually did know. Like, everything in this house is just janky. So, I mean, I'm glad. Again, I'm glad to have a roof over my head. I'm just so grateful. But yeah, holy cow, that scared the crap out of me. It was really exciting week, like, really exciting. So that was kind of the rougher part. Uh, Also, I went to go grab a frozen pizza for dinner last night because I was tanked. I didn't want to cook, and my truck didn't start. So I've still got some packages to get down to the post office, and I was gonna do that before I went live today, but I need a jumper to borrow my kid's car or something because my pickup just won't do it. So or plug it in or something. It's not that cold. It's 22 degrees out. I don't know why it won't start. It should, and maybe it will, but I don't know. Anyway, so it's been a rough start for us over here for the winter. We've all been stuck in the snow or dead vehicle or now I got a new hot water heater for Christmas because yay. The other really, like, again, I was started to say I'm so grateful that I'm surrounded by people with such amazing senses of humor and who are just so grounded because something like that could happen and you could get pissed or sad about it and all that, but we were over here just laughing, cracking jokes and laughing. Like, it isn't the end of the world. 6 holes in my freezer yet? Or are you fellas visiting, or is that at me? Oh, great, water and electricity. Exactly, chubby hubby. I was a little bit afraid. As I should be. Those are two things that, yeah, you just love together, right? Like, anyway, it was just the humor in this house through that rough phase and through all of the rough phases has just been, I love it. I absolutely love it. Hey there, dads. Oh, speaking of dad rocks, it's my dad's birthday today or yesterday or today. I should know. They're having a party for him tonight though, so I have to go people. So I enjoyed a hot shower, an amazing hot shower right before I started the live so that I could go people later this evening, go have some dinner with my family. So yeah, it's just, you know what? It, like, my kid came up with that most genius line in the middle of all of that. I was like, "What does it smell like?" Because it smelled horrible. And he's like, "It smells like all of the things that a problem could smell like." And I was like, "Put that on a cup, a T-shirt, Like, oh my god. Thanks. Yeah, yeah. it'll be good to just take a break for a minute and go get some dinner with everybody. So, yeah, it's been a little bit rough, but the sale was wonderful. I won't lie, my kid made more money than me selling honey, but honey's sweeter than rocks, so I suppose it makes sense. But um, it was great. It was so cool to see all the kids that were at the sale, and the big kids too, because there were some adults there who really were excited about some of the stuff that I had, and we had, of course, it's loud in there, and you're leaned over a sale table trying to talk to people, so conversations were pretty short, but they were very sweet there and to the point and just extra awesome. So uh, there were the first kid and his mom. So a big kid and a little kid combo will be my first story from the sale. And then we really will look at some rocks today too, I promise. Um the little kid and his mom. So he comes up to the table and he finds a little ammonite fossil that I'd shoved a garnet into and polished, It was kind of a cool piece. Not the nicest ammonite I've ever found, but it is one that I found, right? So um it's local and stuff, and he picks it up, he buys it, and he wants to give it to his dad for Christmas. Super sweet. So I get to visiting with him a little bit, like, do you like rocks? And he's like, yeah, I really do. I like rocks and I like fossils and things like that. And so I kind of casually say, did you see the meteorites over here? Because I had a bowl full of meteorites. And he was like, what? And he went over and picked one out, and his mom says, I would actually really like to have maybe just a few more of those, purchase just a few more of those from you, but we only brought so much money to the show tonight, and that's it. That's all the money we have, right? And she's like, how can I get in touch with you? Like, I mean, I don't want to go to the ATM and come back, or go. Everything is happening in this building tonight, in town. The store is closed, the bar might be open, like the ATM is not just around the corner, right? So she's like, how can I get in touch with you after the show? And I talked to her about, like, we know all the same people, and if you need to get in touch with me, and a meetup, drop off, pickup place would be, the kids' grandma's store down here in town. And so I'm kind of excited to maybe meet up with her, and then I suggested that she should bring her kid over someday so he can see the real meteorites. I'm like, not that these are fake meteorites, because they're definitely not fake meteorites, but I have nicer meteorites here at home if he's interested in coming over someday and seeing them maybe. So that was the first interaction that was really kind of fun and exciting. And I was their last stop. They spent their last $20 at my table or whatever, and then off they go. And then, of course, I've got all kinds of other kids. And the next kid that really stands out to me is a kid. And we'd talked a little bit about this when we were pricing some of the little opal bags, that, like, you know what? I want the kids to be able to afford some things, and to get into some of this. Like, I don't want it to all be so outrageously expensive that they can't, right? So we'd price some of those little highlight opal bags at like $7 and things like that. So he keeps coming over and he keeps looking at the fancy opal, the pieces that are like $8 a piece, and things like that, where you can get like a whole bag full for seven, excuse me, for seven on the other end of the table there. So he keeps looking and he keeps looking, he keeps telling me, my sister really likes opal, and I really want to put some in her stocking. I really want to surprise her with some opal. And he's really, like, I can tell, like, it's not a hesitation of what this kid wants to buy. It's a hesitation of how he's going to budget it. Like, which is going to be his best bang for his buck? Which piece of opal is he going to get his sister for Christmas? So I know, isn't this just so sweet? So I try to tell him one more time that I've got these little bags of, they don't have the fancy color play that the expensive opals up on the table have, but they do. They're great. They're the halite opals. They're beautiful. And so I take him over to the side of the table and I pull a couple of them off of there and I open them up and I dump the rocks out. And as soon as he actually sees them out of the bag, he's like, that one. So we go through the rest of the little bags and he's like, no, 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 it's definitely that one. And I tell him, I've got it marked at 7. I'll sell it to you for 5. That way you don't have to spend all of your money. You can go do a little bit more shopping if you want to. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. So I get his money and I grab his little opal bag and I open it up and I pick a piece of the expensive opal up off of the table and drop it in there and tell him Merry Christmas. And he is just like, oh, really? He's like, Merry Christmas to you too. So that was just, I mean, yeah, so sweet. These kids are just wonderful, aren't they? And then I get a few more. I get a couple of grown-ups and people who are looking at some of the jewelry and things, and they're curious to know, like, how am I turning rocks into slabs, and how am I turning slabs into jewelry, and things like that. And so there's quite a bit of conversation, and there's a couple that I see them all the time around town, but I honestly don't know who they are. Uh, they and I've never talked rocks with them. They've I've done customer service in one way, whether it was bar and waitressing or grocery store or whatever for the past how many years. And so I literally like know everybody up here, right? But and I know these folks, I just don't know them. Hey ma. And so uh they're very interested. They're looking and the at this point in time, and I'll come back to this. At this point in time, the kids are all excited about the meteorites, the little NWAs that I've got available. And so I've got a group of kids kind of over here spazzing out about the meteorites, and they're like, "Wow, this is really like I didn't know that you did this." And I'm like, "Well, now you know that I do this." And I hand them a couple of PrairieGirlRocks stickers, and I'm like, "Check me out on YouTube when you're snowed in and there ain't nothing better to do." And they say, "Yeah, we do a lot of rock hounding, in the summertime and when we're out and about." And well, I didn't know that about you, I tell them. And they say, "Yeah, but we do more of our rock hounding over by Shoto." And I'm like, I can barely contain myself. I just want to crawl right over my sale table and be like, ah! I'm like, Shoto has a meteorite. And it's a good one. And they're like, what? Really? And I'm like, no, for real. Like, it's a really good one. And so, like, if you're hounding out around Shoto, keep your eyes peeled. Like, if you find something, suspicious, I'd be glad to take a look at it for you. And I don't think it's all been found. I mean, like, all of these things are being said, like, in excitement. They're like, wow, and I'm like, no, I don't think anybody in Shoto knows that they're the proud, um, home of such a neat meteorite. Like, and I've tried to get in touch with their museum and see if I could go over there and speak about it, and they ghosted me. They never called me back or emailed me back. So, like, I so just want to go over there and tell everybody how like it's there should be more of it out there. I don't think that's the only piece of it. So, but again, even if we know it's there, it's still going to be really hard to find. We know that from some of these fresh falls. We've got 101 reports to the American Meteor Society that say the trajectory went here. We've got, radar and lidar stuff to show it. We've got, all kinds of. You can get, all these different data points that it can even hit a house, somebody's house or something. It can make itself very well known. We can have experts on the ground looking for it in under 24 hours, and they may not find anything. So, even on the best of circumstances, finding meteorites is very hard. So, uh, but just knowing that it's there and being aware is a good step one, I think. So it was super exciting to talk to them. And then the kids. But first, I built a brew right before I started, and I need to go top my cup off. So let me come back, and I got just a couple more kids that were very excited about meteorites, and how that all went down while I was there. Me too, Wisconsin rock stalker, me too. Yes. Check it out, you guys can still hear me, can't you? Mm. Oh, so thankful for hot coffee. uh, Jerry, there's a an musical artist that I highly suggest. He's an older feller and he plays all the instruments and does all of the singing. He's a one man band. And so he just layers all those sounds. Here's his vocal sounds, here's his instrument sounds, here's his, whatever, layers them all together and makes a song. Um, I do a little creamer. Yeah, it's just sitting right there next to the coffee pot, Ma. Anyway, he sings really just he doesn't care. He's not writing songs because he wants to be number one on the charts or anything. He's just writing songs to express himself. But he sings this song, um, Supernova, it might be called. He sings a lot of really weird ones, real short too. Um, he sings this one song that I really like, and this is the whole song. He says, "I want to see that star explode. I want a supernova for my birthday." There's a couple more words in it than that, but still. Um, I totally would love to see a supernova, and if it happened on my birthday, I would just. You think I was excited just a second ago to tell some people who rockhound outside of Shoto about the Shoto Palace site? If I got a supernova for my birthday, oh man, the the excitement would not be containable. Ooh, I gotta do something with this mop. I wouldn't care, but it's making the spot where I sit a little bit wet and the back of my jeans just a little bit wet, and so nobody wants a soggy bottom. So I gotta tie this up in a knot or something real quick. Hang on. Uh, and then so the kids, how's this go with these kids? Okay, so there's a crap load of kids at this sale, and they all have $5. They don't have big money. So, uh, pro tip: don't forget you have that fancy mic when you need to take a bio break. Yeah, exactly, chubby hubby. I'll try to not do that. Joseph got me one too for my tablet. I don't do my live streams on my tablet because sometimes I want to be able to move us around and look at rocks and things, but I do my Zoom meetings on my tablet. And Joseph just got me the most glorious microphone for that. Erg check, mic check, erg check, testing 1 2. Erg check is a meteorite, by the way. Anyway, uh so the kids that are there, and then we'll look at some rocks. I got all kinds of new gadgets too. This, that. Yeah, I got another one I'll show you in just a minute. So anyway, uh aside from our first kid who came in and got the ammonite with the garnet in it, and then the next kid who just really all he wanted was some opal. There were a bunch of kids that were kind of in and out in there. What is this? This is cool. Tell me about this. Hey, what is this? Yeah, that did you find this? All kinds of just they were having a ball, right? But they really just weren't aware that I had a bowl full of meteorites sitting right there. And when I finally pointed out to this like first one kid, and I'm like, dump them out. We spill them out across the table, and he's like, but I only have $5. And I'm like, well, good news. There's pieces in there that are like $2, and two for $2 and everything. Like you can get two pieces for $2 in one of those little bags, and then there were some nicer ones that went up from there in price. But I'm like, you know what? Look through there, maybe I can make you a deal. And he looks through, and I'm like, is that the one you love? Is that the one you just absolutely love? And he's like, I like this one a lot. And I was like, yeah, then $5, and he's like, Merry Christmas as I hand it to him. Seriously? Merry Christmas to you too, he says as he like runs off in joy. Next thing I know, there's a whole herd of kids up at my table. Do you have meteorites? I heard you have meteorites. Do you have meteorites? Where are the meteorites? Show me the meteorites. And I was making Merry Christmas deals with all the kids for little pieces of NWA meteorites, and it was making all their days. And I mean, I did. I sold a lot of everything else. It wasn't just that. I sold a lot of everything, a little bit of everything. Cabs, free, loose cabs, jewelry, slabs, uh, whatever, you name it. There was a little bit of everything that got moved around. And we count the money at the end of the night, and my kid's like, I sold X amount of jars of honey, so I should have made this much money. And I count out his money, and I count out what's left, and I'm like, "Heh, the little turkey made more money than me." And he's like, "Well, I'm just saying, Mom, you might have made more money if you weren't giving everything away." Yeah, but but it was worth every dime just to see him be like just lit up over rocks, and yeah, like Jerry just said in the chat, little future rock hounders. Yeah, why not? So oh, it was good. It was good to just to get to chat, not like I say, not only with the little kids who were very enthusiastic about all things rock on my table, not just the meteorites, but once that word got out, once that first kid got one for $5, man, it was like wildfire went through that whole room, and like I say, pretty soon all the kids were there. My girlfriend's daughter, she's just adorable too, and she's such a little lady. She's so cute, and she's got her little purse and her jewelry and stuff, and she's standing there. She's literally like only as tall as my table, and she looks up at me over her glasses. She's so cute, prim and proper, and she's like, "Are they real meteorites?" And I was like, I would never, ever, ever, ever sell a fake meteorite. Never, ever. Oh, the kids were great, you guys. It was so great. Oh, excuse me, that was an especially loud slurp. I promise they're not always all that loud. I don't, this little cup messes with me. I love the little cup, but it messes with me a little bit. I was expecting it to be super hot and it's not. Hey, Prairie, how have you been? We had you fellas on a little bit on Monday night too while we were putting in the new hot water heater. So I wasn't chatting, but I did listen a little. Hey, by the way, when I was listening on Karen's thing, she said that like she was having something with her eye. Does anybody know, is Karen doing okay? I hope she's doing well. Oh, and then the one more like super awesome thing that I want to talk about was the Heart for Rocks. You guys, this week has just been insane. It has been from like, oh, surprise, the hot water heater. You get a new hot water heater for Christmas this year. Yay, to the Heart for Rocks charity auction raised how many $1,000 for the girls' geology camp? Holy cow. Ma, I'm going to say it straight out. I'm sorry. I'm too honest. I'm going to say I think your stuff didn't earn the dollars that it deserved, but it do be like that sometimes. I have had prior auction years where I'm like, oh, that was kind of wished it would have. And then this year, my thing went for way more than I thought it should have. So, but yeah, it was killing me to see Ma's stuff go for 60 and $80 when I know that she put, literally 80 hours into it. Like, but for a good cause, and then somebody's going to get a really wonderful Christmas gift to themselves or to somebody else. So, um, I am just like in love with all of it. That the giving that was giving place there, and for such a good cause. Again, for kids, like I got a soft spot. I really do. It did go for oh good. Oh good. The second cab that you did a cab that Margaret wire wrapped, and that one went for a little less than I thought it should have. But again, that happens sometimes in an auction, especially one with as much giving as was given into that auction. And poor Kate, man, she rode the struggle bus just a little bit a couple of times, but she really like I think when you're in that moment and the camera's on and it's rolling and you're having a hard time, you feel like time has slowed down. You feel like you've literally been sitting in front of the camera for a half an hour and you're not getting anywhere. And it's really only been like 30 seconds, you know? So I know she felt like she was having a hard time, but man, did she do a good job. And especially considering the magnitude of what was happening there. Like so many donations, so much to get through, so much keeping track of where it's going, who's made payments, packaging things, unpackaging things for the sale, and then repackaging them to go out to all of the people who won the auctions and stuff. It's just what a mountain, holy cow. So she did, I think, wonderful job, and thank you again to everybody who did both or either donated or auctioned and or like I say did both. So that was super cool to see. So, in fact, such a success this year, and I love it too because when she said she wanted to do it, I was like, "Yay! I hope it's the best one ever," and it was. So that was great. Um, so successful though that it sounds like next year they're gonna try to do two charities, um, different places, so that they can split the funds up just a little bit because so much money got raised. Holy cow! Mm. What a cool community we have, you guys. That's just way too wonderful. Way too wonderful. Like, oh, it's so yeah. I crap has hit the fan not once, not twice. On the first day of winter, a snowdrift stuck a he, and my eldest got stuck in the snow. And we had to go pull him out right in his car. You guys see the video? On the second day of winter, Nar needed rescuing. We had to rescue the Nar off we had to go plug and then on the 12th day of winter a new hot water heater. Oh, I just can't not like laugh a little bit. So, seriously, even though it's been a little bit rough this week, this like past couple weeks has kind of kicked my butt, and I'm still, like I say, I'm glad to be surrounded by such dark humor, sarcastic humor. It really does keep me laughing when life's kicking me around a little bit. Uh, Oh, so needless to say, I was doing a little bit different kind of lurking and working while I was lurking through people's shows this week. Like I mentioned, I had people on in the background. I just couldn't comment and I couldn't really pay attention. Um, yeah, I mean, like I say, I think sometimes if you don't laugh about some of that stuff, you might otherwise cry. And we don't want to cry. No one died or anything. I mean, we're okay. So we almost thought we were going to die for a second, but we're okay. Oh, seriously, that hissing sound coming out of the basement and the like smoke coming out, like the taste of it, the smell of it, everything. I was just like, I'd asked my ex if there was any way that the electricity had like superheated the water in that tank before the noise and the smoke and everything happened. And if I'd literally like built a bomb and unintentionally built I shouldn't say that B word, probably I'll get flagged in my basement, like a pressure cooker, right? And I was like, it's not gonna explode, is it? As I'm like puckered just a little, I'm like, eek. And he's like, That's not real common. You're probably fine, but I'm on my way. Like, okay, hurry. So yeah, not only was I afraid of being electrocuted, but I was also just a little afraid that I'd unintentionally built a, you know what, in my basement. Bom, bom, ba, bom, ba, bom, bom, bom. I thought I had one of those in my basement for just a second. So I didn't get a whole lot done in the rock department this week. I did get some stuff done though. I tried some things. And I got a new toy. Uh, although I don't necessarily need to, I don't think use the toy today because I only have like two new rocks and like three beads to show you guys. It's sad. I'm sorry. Okay, let's do it though. Get you in here just a little. All right. So, or actually, maybe come back out first and let me show you what I do have some new gadgets, like I say. Yeah. Okay. Well, one new gadget that I have, and like I say, I don't think I need to really do anything, is and it's not plugged in, so, we're not going to see it turn, but a little motorized turntable. That's going to be like, the golden ticket for showing in the light box, is it not? For video and reels and stuff. So I am excited about that. The other thing, and thank Karen for being the devil on Joseph's shoulder to get this going. It looks like the other one's still on the Dremel because I'm using it at the moment. We grabbed some Nova wheels. I got what is that, a 140 all the way down to the 3000 on the Novas. And then there are some little shaping guys, some little, hard granny guys. Can you see them in there? Good enough anyway. So 1, 2, and then 3. Hey there, Jeff. So this combination of, and then I got the little wheels for the compound to go onto, and then that just goes in the Dremel. All of this goes in the Dremel, obviously. I know you guys know, but maybe somebody's watching who doesn't know. So I'll start with these bits that are diamond. They've got diamond in the bit, and I'll do some of the shaping on the rock and get all the chips and nicks and grits and things out of it, and could do some contour polishing and stuff if I want to. So while I have the flat lap, I've had this fire agate that I have not finished for how long now? 2 years? A year? 2 years? Because it's really hard to get. Oops, bonk the thing. Why don't I? It's really hard to get into that contour with a flat lap. So I didn't need these for this project because I'd already done most of the shaping on the flat lap. But I did go ahead and run through a couple of the Nova points to get out all the little scratches that were keeping me from calling this a finished project. And then went back after the Nova points and did some polishing with the diamond paste. Excuse me, I can't get rid of that little tickle in my throat right now. So finally finished this little puppy. I wonder if it would love to be like just a little farther in the box, if that's why we're struggling with the light so much. Yeah, that's a lot better. Hold it in there. So yeah, I never played with the Nova wheels before. I played a little bit with some of the diamond stuff on stuff that I'd finished on the flat lap, but I'd never played with the Nova wheels before. I'd never done any kind of contour carving before, so that was very much a learning experience for me, just how, how much to do, how much not to do. And then I did another piece as well while I was at it, again, just learning what does that wheel do, how, this combination of wheels do, how much is too much, how much is not enough. And I learned not quite enough right there. I mean, I could come back and tidy that up quite a bit, right? But not shabby for my first try. I want to get in there just a little farther. There we go. So, and I've had all this fire agate forever and been too afraid to do anything with it because I was afraid I'd butcher it on my flat lap, which I probably would have. So, and then I tried some Spencer, and man, it just washes the color of the opal out so bad in here. Let's last time doing this helped. Yep. What a pretty little jelly bean, huh? It's so slickery. It's so hard to show, it's so slick. And then yeah, the ick, I'm filthy. Um, the whole light thing in there isn't the most fantabulous. Um, the next thing that I worked on a little bit was a little bit more, some more jewelry, some more rings in particular, because I've just started kind of trying to do rings, and it's there's still a little bit of a struggle to me, and I just want to get better at it. And so I tried some beads. These are not stones that I polished, these are beads. And they turned out okay. All of the chatoyance and cat's eye and stuff gets washed out so bad in that light. I like to do the beads that, like, you can turn them and fidget with them. It's almost like an adult fidget spinner. So, like I say, I didn't get a lot of time to do a whole lot of lapidary work or wire wrapping work or anything, packaging packages and getting them sent out. Um, so I still need to get in touch with some folks about that, about their packages that they're ready finally, but that I took me a little longer than I had expected it to. I told everybody, like, I'm likely going to feel just a little bit exhausted after this sale, and it's going to take me a minute to get everything, unloaded out of the truck and sorted and packages put together and stuff. And then, like, literally, as the electricity arcs in the basement, and the rumors of my death are not so greatly exaggerated. uh, so I did get some stuff done. It just isn't what I would have loved to have got done for the whole week, because it was just literally like, hey, take one step forward and slide two steps back, which is, how winter in Montana is. We had a 101 mile an hour wind up here the other day. 101. I've got a screenshot to prove it to you guys from the weather guy if you don't believe me. 101 mile wind hour wind up here the other day. Um, I couldn't sleep to save my damn life. And so then, like, the next day, again, I got all this stuff going on. I'm just like exhausted from the sale and everything. We had a gig that weekend too. So I played music, came home, dropped all my crap on the floor from playing music, and loaded up all these rocks and went and did this rock sale. And then came home. I didn't even get them out of my truck. And it was like, oh, by the way, here, have a little electrical meltdown and a new hot water heater. It was like 3 days before I even got the dang rocks out of my truck. And I'm so exhausted. And the wind is shaking the house and the walls, and you can hear it coming through the windows. And rattling everything. And it's just like, I was like, I want to sleep so bad and I can't. So it's been like literally the rough and the wonderful, because it's been a little bit of a rough week, but like, how cool is it that I got to go to a rock sale and introduce a bunch of kids to meteorites and Spencer Opal and, you know, the big kids too, talking to the big kids about the rocks and stuff. It's just, it's worth it. It's worth it to be exhausted, to be able to share this kind of stuff, not just with my physical community here in my town, which is, itty bitty, but with the great big world wide web, like, and I know that these little stories that I just told, they're not going to tickle everyone. They're not going to, fascinate and thrill everyone. It's not going to put a smile on everyone's face. People who are into cars and bow hunting, or some of the baseball cards, or whatever, people, the stock exchange, or all kinds of people have all kinds of different interests and stuff. But for me to be able to share it with our little community here on YouTube and my community here in my town is just, it's a lot of the reason why I started this YouTube channel, and why I keep doing it, is because it's absolutely wonderful to see a kid light up like that, or to see the progress that I make, or that one of my viewer makes, and to share tips and tricks and advice and encouragement amongst each other, is just, I wouldn't have the perpetual self-discipline and the enthusiasm to keep doing it on the level that I keep doing it without you guys. So I appreciate so much you guys being here. Wisconsin Rockstalker, I should have had some Z-Quil. The problem with that is it probably would have jacked me up all night and then crashed me even harder the next day. So yeah, it's great to have you guys. I again was just gushing appreciation after my near death experience, which again is a bit of an exaggeration, but in the moment I was pretty afraid. I'm gonna go fill this cup up again while we chuckle about this for one more minute. Mm, yeah, seriously though. I'm glad to have my close friends and family here who, like I say, they've got dark humor and are wonderful. Like, it's really, really cool that my friends and family allow me to be, really independent and odd. You've got to be, odd to be number one. They let me be odd and independent and unusual, and, run a YouTube channel, which is kind of not everybody does that. And but when I need help and say I need help, they're right there to help me. Like, I'm just so fortunate to have such a wonderful community, both physically and here on, this journey that we're on together. I say it every week, I think, that I appreciate you guys, but I look forward to this every week. I really, really do. This and many, many other channels. Um, you guys have seen Prairie in here tonight. Go check out Prairie. He and a bunch of you guys know that I'm only like 7 miles south of the Canadian border, and that I literally grew up here, like on the U.S. Canada border, and so I consider myself to be a Camerican. And so I really get a kick out of those boys when they're up. There's a few of them that are from Canada and a few of them that are from here from Montana, and they're constantly getting guests on their. They go Monday nights, by the way. Uh, they're constantly getting guests on their channel that are really worth checking out and listening to. It's a lot of like gold prospecting stuff, but also just rocks things and stuff that they're doing. So check out Prairie Prospecting and all of his crew up there. They run kind of like a rock hound podcast, like Karen and the crew used to do. And so it's, it's a fun little hang. Lots of really nice people in their community too, in their online community as well. So yeah, I look forward to lots of your guys' channels as well, and getting to chat with everybody. And that poor Opal is just so washed out in there. This doesn't even do it justice. It's okay. It's yeah, I mean, for sure with Wisconsin, how do you get through some of this stuff if you don't have a little bit of a sense of humor about it? Mm. Oh my God, that coffee. Oh, what, and let me tell you what a glorious hot shower I had just one more time. I just want to tell you how glorious it was. I've had a couple of them now with the new hot water heater, and it is quite glorious. Oh. So yeah, that's the plan for this week, is to not be as absolutely overwhelmed as I was last week with just everything going on. Um, I do have some band gigs and stuff still coming up, but at least I don't have the Christmas stroll, the physical sale here in town, a band gig, and a Heart for Rocks auction all going on within the same 3 days of each other. Like that was just way too much. Like, and then like I say, followed up by bomb in your basement, and you're gonna get a new hot water heater for Christmas. Yay! So it's been really rough, but also really wonderful to see all those kids light up at that sale, and to get information out there about rocks to people who were genuinely enthusiastic about it was really cool, really cool. So, and then yeah, just to get to come here and share it with you guys, and our usual, rock chat and banter. We were all pretty nice to each other today. Nobody even was picking on anybody, and there were a couple of funny comments here today, but yeah, pretty mellow hangout today. I knew it would be. Uh, yeah, like editing a video this week, absolutely just got knocked out, off the chart in the schedule. It was like, nope, nope. I have packages to mail out that I haven't even mailed out yet. Like, there's no way in heck I'm gonna feel okay about sitting down and filming a video when I have business from last week that I still haven't taken care of this week. Ah, how did that happen? How'd that week go so fast? Oh goodness. So yeah, I get this birthday party over with my dad tonight. I am looking forward to seeing everybody and saying hello to everybody, but I'm also looking forward to, like, that's the last kind of unusual thing I have on my schedule for a minute, and then maybe I can get caught up with myself. Oh, so yeah, yeah. All I want for Christmas is a new hot water heater. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't not, but I didn't. Oh, and then another conversation that, so it's, this is just an odd coincidence, really. And let me flip you guys around. We've seen the whole like 2.5 rocks that I had to show you guys today. Like I say, I apologize that it wasn't a little more. I usually am a little more busy than that, but I just wasn't. Um. Anyway, There was one more story I was gonna tell you, and it was yep, holy cow, and it's not getting any closer. It was so right there too. Shoot. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. So, I've talked a little bit about, you know, what I want to do something to want to do a lot of things, but I don't have the money to do it all, right? And I've talked about, do I buy a camper? Do I get a little rock mobile? Because it would sure be nice to not be sleeping on the ground or in the truck if we have another Spencer Opal dig or a, you know, um, blue jewel sapphire mine dig or, you know, trips that we want to take. We're getting a little too old to be sleeping in the truck and on the ground. Another thing that I've really talked about wanting to maybe do is get a cabbing machine. And the third thing that I've talked about maybe wanting to do is going to Tucson for the gem show. Excuse me. So obviously, I can't do all of those things, but those are some things that I am interested in trying to make happen. Right. So uh, I sat down with my kid the other night and was like, "Look, I might I I might really wanna try to go to Tucson this year. I've really kind of been throwing it out there, talking about it. I'm terrified. I'm not gonna lie. I'm absolutely terrified because I've never been on an airplane. I've never been in an Uber. I've never needed to call an Uber, I mean, or a taxi or anything. Like, I have no idea how to even do that, right? So, uh, I'm telling my kid, like, I'm hesitant to like say yes, this is what I'm doing because I it's like planning a mission to Mars for me. I don't know how to get to Mars, like literally I got schooled by a pop machine at Five Guys a couple years ago and my brother laughed at me. I was like, I don't know how to get the pop out of the machine and like what is this? Like it looked like a goddamn spaceship. Sorry about my language. It did. It looked like a spaceship. And it's just a soda machine. And I'm like, I just want some pop, right? And he's like, well, then push the button. Okay, I push the button, and then like 35 more options for that kind of pop, like come up on the screen, and I'm like, what? So if I get schooled by a pop machine at Five Guys, like I'm in for probably quite a culture shock if I can get down to Tucson. So it does scare me, but it is something that I think I'd like to try, even though I'm terrified. And I don't have to go alone. I don't have to do it alone. I've got lots of friends and family and people who will help me do that. But anyway, moving on. I sit down with my kid and I'm like, "Look, this is really coming up close. Like this is getting here." And I tell him, like I'm afraid to leave you here on your own because that can be some of our worst parts of winter. And I don't want him here riding the struggle bus all by himself. And he's like, "Well, I'm not alone. Dad's just down the street." And I'm like, "I understand that. He really is just right down." And so we have a few options. I'm not worried. My kid can handle it. He can handle it. He's watched The Ranch for his grandma while she's gone. And everything is fine, but what if something, and this hadn't happened yet, what if the hot water heater catches on fire? What if the pipes break and freeze and break? What if he's stuck in the driveway at 40 below and out there trying to dig his car? Like, what if? Like, and I don't underestimate my kid's ability to handle it. I just worry that things can get so stupid so fast when the weather is that bad up here, right? And so I'm telling him, I'm not afraid to leave you here. I know you can handle, but do I leave you here and you're responsible for feeding the old fireplace before you go to school, on your lunch break, when you come home from school, before you go to bed after robotics? I mean, it's exhausting just to try to keep the things from not falling apart when the weather gets shit out here. So I'm telling him, like, maybe a better option is that you just go stay with your dad for a week and we'll just shut the water off and like turn the heaters down and then you don't even have to worry about it. I mean, there's some options, right? But I'm just telling him, like, this is coming up, and I know you don't care if I leave you here alone. I just want to make sure that you're set if I do. And so literally that night, that night. So those 30-second clips of like, I'm terrified. And then all I had to do was start talking about going to Tucson and my hot water heater explodes. All of that packed into that like 60 seconds of video clip on that members only video that I posted is like it couldn't have timed any better, like literally. So when my ex comes up from the basement and tells me, yeah, we got to shut the water off because, yeah, it is and I'm like, you know what? I was just talking about shutting the water off, buying a camper, and heading down to Arizona. Like, maybe I should just do that, and you guys can just take care of this for me. You could fix this while I'm gone. Take your time. And my kid's standing there and he's like, oh, she literally did just say that, Dad. Oh. Oh, squirrel, are you going to be there? Are you? Yes. Seriously, seriously, great. That's wonderful. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing yet. If I'm going to buy a camper and like, so we've been sketching it out lately. Like if I buy a camper and drive down there, of course, that's very expensive. That's quite expensive, right? I don't own a camper already. And so that already is a couple $1,000, right? But it's like I either buy a camper or I buy a cabbing machine, and I've been saving, trying to not, I don't want to do this and then have, wish I'd have done the other thing or, whatever. So I'm trying to not spend my money in a way that I want to do it the way that like I've looked forward to going to Tucson for a lot of years, and even though it's scary, maybe that is something I should do and save up for a cabbing machine, later. That's always something I can do. So, um do I do that and drive? Okay, it's a long drive to Tucson. Uh, but I don't hate the idea of just trying out my new camper with lava bison and enjoying like stopping at a couple of rock shops on the way or something. Like I don't hate that idea of just moseying on down. Hello, Romania. Uh, so it'd be like maybe 4 days of driving, and if he took a week off work, that's like 3 days in Tucson, which is not a lot of time to see everybody and do everything. But 3 days in Tucson might be more than enough for this country girl. I don't know. So there's other options. There's flying down and renting an Airbnb, or flying down and meeting friends down there and sharing a lava bison's parents like to go down. We could fly down and rent a rental car and drive back and forth to their camper and stay with them. And his mom would probably really enjoy going to the show at least a day or two. It might be a lot for her too, so she might not be into to going all the whole time, but that would give us a few more days to do some things and meet up with people. And so I don't know yet. I'm still weighing out my options a lot, and it's still nothing is set in stone, and I still don't know for sure if I'm really going to do that or not. Um I kind of want to, but you never know. You never know. I could think that that's what I'm doing and get more than a hot water heater for Christmas, and my plan could totally go out the window. So, I just don't know yet. But I am kind of gnawing on it. I am kind of thinking about it. I am kind of looking into things and kind of talking about maybe doing that. Soul, hello. Hello, Soul. I was telling Les earlier, I had you girls on and playing in the background while I was doing some major plumbing. So I couldn't chat, but I did eavesdrop and look at some stuff and hang out and give you girls my watch hours and my support. I was there. I was there boosting the numbers in the community and all of that. So I just couldn't chat. But yeah, it's I mean, as rough as things were, it's really not that rough. We're all okay. Everything's okay. So, and if crap hits the fan and I have to, buy who knows? Who knows? I was this close to buying a camper and just adios, amigos. Like, it sounds really good right now. strapping a snow shovel onto the hood of the truck and driving south until somebody says, "What is that?" That's where I'll stop and stay. When they don't know what a snow shovel is for, that's where the weather's nice enough for me to go right now. Mm. Uh, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll keep in touch with you, squirrel. If I start making any serious plans that like we can really lock in on, or if you get anything that's really serious, like you said, you're just kind of planning it now. Let me know if you've got dates, actual dates that you are really going to be there. Please let me know. I have a notebook for this that I will keep track of who's going to be there so I know who I'll be able to meet up with and who I can't. So, yeah, goodness gracious. Yeah. So, anyway, whew. Early, it'll be the same for me. The IMCA, the International Meteorite Collectors Association dinner is like the first Thursday of February. So I'll try to be down there for that because that would be a really cool place to like meet all of the meteorite nerds all in one place. So um, like I say, driving doesn't sound terrible to me. I've never flown, and again, flying scares the crap out of me. So it's not the flying actually that scares me; it's the airport. Ugh. So that sounds really peoply. Um, so it is a little of both, obviously, but my buddy Steven was saying, if you fly from Montana to Arizona, you you fly close enough coming into the airport over Behringer Crater that on a clear day you can see Behringer Crater from the airplane. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't think about that. That's kind of cool." Okay, so on the list of pros and cons, like pros for driving, like I get to mosey and take my time and enjoy my time with Joseph, and the whole vacation isn't just about everybody else; it's about us too. Or I could fly and see Behringer Crater from the air, like that's kind of cool. Like, oh, and Joseph's right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here today and doing the like and the thing and the all of that. It does help. All of that really does help, like I say, keep me going and keep me doing stuff like this, and a lot of what I do with this wouldn't be possible without you guys and little donations like that, and like I say, you don't have to. I know Soul said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna back out of the memberships for just a minute," and it's not I understand, Soul. I absolutely understand. Um, but every little bit of it doesn't have to be a monetary thing to help this channel and to help me do the things that I'm doing. Just simply hitting that like button and giving me a little bit of watch hours, like I say, it helps it not just for us and what we're doing, but also to add to it's a snowball. We might grab a new somebody up in the candy. We might grab a candy along the way. We might grab a blind squirrel rocks along the way. We might grab a lesbian rockin' along the way. So as we keep rocking and rolling along here, it helps even if you don't have anything to give, just to give a little bit of time. So I appreciate you guys so much for all of that through all of the years that we've been doing this. It's been so cool. And it does just helps keep me going. Even if it's not a monetary thing, it helps keep me going through your encouragement and all of that. So and you're picking up Les on the way? Are you serious? Ah! See, I just got to, like I hope I can make that work out, and I don't want to say I'm going and then chicken out and feel like a big bunch of crap and all that stuff. So I am cautiously hesitant to fully commit, and say I am going to go because I don't know. I don't know that I won't run it. run into some major issues along the way before we get there, I just don't know. So, and I'm a mom. Like, what if my kid is in poor health or something? I cancel plans and stay home and take care of my kid, or something like that happens. It's family first. So, I'm hesitant to say that that's going to happen, and like I say, there's other things that I am contemplating. Like maybe before we do something like that, maybe instead I should just buy a camper and be ready for some trips this summer. Maybe I should instead buy a cabbing machine and just crank out some cabs and save up for a camper and a trip to Tucson next year. So again, I am kind of toggling with more than just one idea, and I have to decide one or the other, or a combination of maybe two of those if I'm really tricky about how I budget. So we'll see what happens. I know, and I was kind of thinking that maybe I could swing by on my way and pick up my friend Bear. Sorry to just throw that on you, Bear. No, I don't know if it's on the way or not, but if it was and you wanted to go, maybe we could do something like that. So I don't know. Again, I just want to get it out there and start thinking about it, even if it all falls to crap. I want to say at least I put the thought into it, and I wasn't just going to sit here and watch it go by one more year. So it is an idea, isn't it? So we'll see. I'd like to start making some plans and knowing who's going to be there and when they're going to be there, so that I that'll help too. Like if everyone's going to be there in the latter part of the first week of February versus the earlier part of that first week of February, I might try to, get down there between those days rather than the other days. So all of that. And yeah, welcome, Bear. Good to see you. Ah, what a crazy, wonderful ride. Just this last week has been, it's just woo, been a good one. Oh. And I missed my meteorite meeting last week, and it feels like it's been 2 weeks since I've been there, which actually kind of has been. And I miss it tonight too because of my dad's birthday. And I feel like it feels like it's going to be a month before I get to hang out with my meteorite buddies. So we'll see. They hang out pretty late on their Zoom meeting. Maybe I can eke in at the end of the evening and catch at least a little bit of what's going on. If I'm not mistaken, there might be a fresh fall over Wisconsin right now that everyone's hounding. I haven't had time. I haven't had the time to keep up on everything. I haven't had, like, I think I might have seen some stuff on Facebook and heard some whispers that they might be out hunting a fall right now. All of the real serious hounders. I got a notification just a minute ago that my phone was gonna die. Excuse me. And so let's do this two combinations of things here. Let me run and grab a quick bio break. And so I'm going to remove the microphone for doing that. And also, in removing the microphone, I'm going to go ahead and plug this phone in so it doesn't die real quick. So step one, bye-bye microphone. Step two, plug it in. Can you guys still hear me? Am I still 5x5 with the sound? Thank you, Romania. Yeah, I don't take a lot of trips. I never have. I always worked nights and weekends as a bartender for like the past 10 years. And so when everybody went out to party on nights and weekends, I stayed home and worked. So, and then when I'm like, hey, does anybody want to go, take a trip, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week? And everybody's like, I work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I'm like, yeah. So I've, how the heck do I shut this thing off? Right there. So it's always one of those things, that eternal issue, right? You either have the money to do it and no time to do it, or you have the time to do it and no money to do it. And again, it's always that balancing act of trying to balance the two properly and get what you want, right? Or something close to. I'll be right back. I'm going to do a quick bio break, and then I think we're going to wrap it on up for the day. And no microphone following me into the bathroom. Very good. Okie dokie. Yeah, I've tried to just not worry about all of it and just be happy. Don't worry, be happy. If you want to drive through Vegas as fast as possible. I think, seriously, if we drive, Lava Bison is going to really have to make the blackout sunglasses for me. They're going to have to be the ones with like the side visor too. And I'm going to have to like, I don't know. Hey there, Karen. Seriously, to drive through some of that traffic and stuff, I'm just going to have to be like, la 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 la. That or Joseph's going to have to put his earbud in and just ignore all of the, be careful, do you see that guy? Stop, slow down. You know, it scares the hell out of me. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking about planning it. I feel scared. And then I feel like I get the information that I'm missing, that's what's scaring me, right? I learn more, and then I feel empowered a little bit. And then I'm like, you know, a little bit worried again about this, that, or the other. And then I learn about what it is that's frightening me. And then I feel a little bit empowered. And so I really do think it is, you know, I'm 40 years old. It's time to try some travel. There's really no reason why. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really like being out here in the country, and everything is simple and slow paced. It's not as slow as I'd like it to be, but slower than some of the modern world, right? And I like that, but I should probably get out. If that pop machine schooled me 2 years ago at Five Guys, imagine how much wilder things have gotten since then. Oh. So yeah, you might have to like strap one of those little flags on me, the ones like so you don't lose your little kid. You might have to put one of those on me just so I don't get lost in the crowd out there. You know, and everybody keeps saying that, Bear. I've been talking to Steven quite a bit too, and Steven's always like, oh, just thinking about going just gives his soul like an urge to be there. He's like, and he said the same thing, that like, obviously everybody's nervous going their first time, but like the minute he got there, that all just melted away, and that he was just like, whoa, these are my people. This is my, you know, so, and that he felt really welcome and at ease and stuff. So I do know that's, but again, I worry about like the stuff that I don't know about, you know, how do I function in a city that has a pop machine that schooled my ass, you know? Like, so please somebody hold my hand. Help me call that Uber if I need it, because I have no idea. Chat GPT was not helpful either. It was like, practice ordering an Uber in your hometown before you go. And I'm like, that's what I'm trying to tell you, Chat GPT. There ain't no Uber out here. And she's like, I see what you're saying now. Planning a trip to Tucson for you is like planning a mission to Mars. And I'm like, yes, yes. And I don't know how to build a spaceship or a rocket. I'm just like, I'm going to shoot for Mars, though. No stopping me. No. So, but yeah, I mean, I think I'd like to try to do that. So, you know, and just putting it out there and saying that much to you guys is a big step for me. So, look at us go. Look at us. Tackling this stuff that scares the crap out of us and growing and all of that. All right. I'm going to get back on track here. I got just a couple more hours before I get to go have dinner with my family. And I'm going to try to get some stuff wrapped up and ready for moving forward from this hot water heater debacle. I got everything put back together. All the furniture is put back where it belongs.
The carpets are vacuumed and shampooed. The floors are mopped. Like, there was a lot of extra housework and extra cleaning and stuff that I had to do. So, I just want to twist off with the Dremel and the Opal that I started working on the other night and finish that and maybe do a little bit more wire wrapping of like actual jewelry and stuff. We have some really pretty cabs that we've made recently out of that obsidian and that rutilated quartz. So I would like to just sit down and decompress just a little bit and work on some of that stuff. So, but yeah, it's wow, that was crazy nuts. It was wonderful. It was rough. It was hilarious. It was heartwarming. It was all of the above. This last week was just crazy. So, yeah, I've kind of noticed that, Bear. Honestly, like, I mean, they've got some big hotel buildings and stuff, right? But it's not like New York or something where you're literally just swallowed up in city buildings and stuff. It does seem a little more wide than tall, right? So I do like that about it. And because I've listened to everybody and followed everybody around, I kind of know that like most of the action is on like Oracle Avenue or Oracle Street. And so I kind of know like if I get an Airbnb, I kind of want to be close to that neighborhood where, you know, uh, before I really started asking questions and stuff, I had no idea what side of town to even, how long does it take you to drive from one side of town to the other? If I get a Airbnb or a campground or something that's on that side of town, I could be in for a 3-hour commute to get to, through traffic and all of that crap. So to kind of stay on that northwest, everything I think kind of travels through Tucson fairly openly on that northwest, like Oracle Avenue kind of thing. So I think if I can kind of plan around that, it shouldn't be too bad for transportation to and fro the show. So, but yeah, just knowing little things like that, like I say, make me feel a lot more confident about going through with something like that. So I'm not completely ignorant, that's for darn sure. And the more I learn, the more I know, the better I feel about giving it a go. So if you got any helpful tricks, tips, and advice for such a thing, reach out to me and let me know either in the comments here or if we message on things, message me and all of that. One more thing that I put out there, and I've got some really wonderful answers already. If you guys have a favorite video or a favorite live stream, I know Maz kind of talked about like her favorite, obviously. She sent me a greeting card with the look at the red, look at the red. I want to make a playlist of your guys' favorite videos. Like I say, and I was telling my mom, and I kind of explained it, I think, last week too. If somebody new you wanted to say, hey, who you should check out on YouTube is PrairieGirlRocks, or if somebody new just happens to find this channel, I want to have a playlist suggestion of like, these are the viewers' favorites, and like, this is your welcome to PrairieGirlRocks bundle. This should get you caught up a little bit with what you've missed over. That way they don't have to go back and watch all 200 videos, like we'll pick out some of our favorites and be like, here's, if I could suggest that you watch a video or two, I would suggest this video or these videos. If you can fly into Tucson, it's very simple. Actually, I've heard that I should fly into Phoenix, that it's cheaper to fly into Phoenix, and that there's a rental car place in the Phoenix airport, and then it's only an 1.5-hour drive from Phoenix to Tucson. So I may consider that cheaper option because I don't care what's an 1.5-hour drive. Everything's an 1.5 hours away from me here. Everything. So what's that? Well, that's nothing. I'll drive that. That's no big deal. So, but yeah, it's the dang airports that kind of scare me a little bit, Les. So I'm thinking like no carry-on if I fly, or no luggage, just carry on. That way I can just like grab my backpack, get the heck off the airport and get out of there. Like get off the airplane and get out. I bet it is. I bet Phoenix and Tucson both are insane. But, you know, I may have to just like have a gummy and get over it. So anyway, uh yeah, it's just been a great week, and I'm ready for things to kind of go back to normal just a little bit for just a minute now. I know that. I know, Karen. I know. I'm actually surprised that there are still a few places that are available. Oh, and then like I looked at like because I want to do it kind of on a budget, you know. I'm kind of a thrifty girl and I don't, you know, everything I do is on a budget, but I don't want to do it on such a budget that I'm miserable. But I looked at like some of the nicer hotels and stuff and I was like, "Whoa, okay. Yeah, no, that's out of my budget." Like, "Whoa." And then I looked at like some super cheap like Super 8 or something and it had reviews on both the roaches and the bed bugs. Two things that I do not have to think about in Montana: cockroaches and bed bugs. I was like, "What?" No. So, I mean, there's just it's and again, I find that all to be just like hilarious. Like, look how country I am. I never even thought about bed bugs and cockroaches, but I don't think I could do it either. Like, I'll be honest with you, if I saw a cockroach in my hotel room, I might be like, "Hey, let's go to Kmart and buy a tent for $100 and we'll just go sleep where like the bugs are natural." So, I do know that if you want to get a not cockroach and bed bug infested place to stay in Tucson during the Gem and Minerals show, that you should probably do it like now or even a couple of months ago. So I do know. I do know. Oh, but yeah, I never thought I never, it, nope, nope, never crossed my mind that we could check into somewhere down there that's got cockroaches and bed bugs. Or even one or the other, like, let alone both. Like, what? No, no, I'm not okay with that. And my mom was like, "And scorpions too." And I was like, "You know, a scorpion or two, I could probably get over that. But cockroaches and bed bugs, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know." So yeah, I've got I got a lot of stuff I gotta overcome. I got a lot of stuff I gotta learn. Oh, you guys want to watch me squirm? This might be a very interesting adventure. And I don't mind the tarantulas. Like, obviously, if it were infested, that's something, right? But like, if a tarantula scuttled across the balcony or the boardwalk or the sidewalk or even across like the bathroom floor or something, I'd be like, "Okay, so there was a fucking tarantula, okay? You know? Okay, so there was a scorpion." But yeah. Yeah, that's just it. Is they're really not like out to get you. And neither are the cockroaches or the bed bugs, but it's just the nature of the cockroach and the bed bug that get me creepy crawly. Like, tarantulas and scorpions are just doing what tarantulas and scorpions got to be doing. So, if it surprised me, I might would squish it, but otherwise I might be a little bit fascinated. Like, look at the bug, look at the weird bug, you guys. Oh, yeah. I can see this just being, seriously. she, People are like, "Is that lady on the sidewalk right now checking out a scorpion? Like, what is she doing?" And I'm like, "I've never seen one before. Wow." Seriously, I need a chauffeur so that they can be like, "Psst, hey, Prairie, get up. People are looking at you weird. You look like your cheese is slipping off your cracker." Oh, God. Your blood is delicious. Yeah. Yep. Yep. My first time. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough. Because I really don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to make any plans that I can't keep, and because that makes me feel like a lousy human being. So just, it is mildly entertaining even just to think about, though. So I have new tools, and I'm excited to do some filming. I haven't had a minute yet to do that. So I hope to get the videos back on track this week, and get, some really good content out there, not just me laughing about the trials and tribulations, the rough and the wonderful. I do hope to get back on track a little bit and get some stuff done. The video suggestions, by the way, that's a post, community post that I made or whatever. Go make a suggestion. I plan on putting together just a little thank you package, a couple little pieces of Spencer, maybe a slab or two. Nothing too, a couple tumbled rocks, nothing too serious, but just a little something to say thank you for taking the time to, put your 2 cents into that and help the community grow and stay, positive and happy. Like I say, hey Josh, I just want to have that available for newcomers. And then, by the way, Lava did the thing earlier. And I never did do that for that, and I needed to. So, but yeah, lots going on. Let's sing the song and do the thing, and like, do I have anything to look at? I got a couple pieces of Spencer here. What else do I have? Anything? I got rocks everywhere. What are we gonna do? I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. I can't find rocks to sing the song with. That's pretty crazy. That means my house is too picked up. There's no rocks sitting out here. I mean, there's a couple, I suppose. All right. Thank you guys so much again for all of your continued support week after week, month after month. And I mean, can you even believe it? Year after year. I love you guys to death. I really do. And like I say, gushing gratitude. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my world. I appreciate you very, very much. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your week. May nobody have any pressure cookers in their basements and no electrical meltdowns. And, stay warm. Don't let the wind blow you away. Put rocks in your pockets so that the 101 mile an hour wind doesn't blow you away. All right. Pretty rocks out on the prairie. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Pretty rocks for us to look at. Pretty rocks are everywhere. There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one. And they all are very pretty. And they all are everywhere. Thank you guys so much for watching today. And in a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind of goofy and kind of a rock hound. Peace, hippies, and boop.